All right, CNT140 bid spec. We're now on to starting our cost sheet. So now that we have the amount of cabling we need for our plan, our estimation, if you will, we can now start a spreadsheet that we'll use to track all of our equipment or keep track of all the equipment we need and eventually tally up a cost for the customer. So I'm going to open up my spreadsheet that I did my estimation on, and I'm just going to add a new tab down here. I'll say new tab. And I will quick label this cost sheet. That way I know that's what this piece is, cost sheet. And we're going to start keeping track of the equipment we need. So we'll put over here, the area of our plan. And that's going to be things like our horizontal cabling. That'll be the first thing we're adding. I'll give myself a little room here. We'll eventually have our backbone cabling. That's the other type of cabling we'll have. And we'll have things like the work area equipment. That's where the outlets and so forth are. We'll eventually have things like our closet equipment and so forth. So that's what I'm using for area of the plan. That allows me, if I have a couple line items, to group them all together to know that I have all the pieces. We'll put a label here for item. What item it is that we're going to be adding to our sheet. We're going to put the model number. We always keep track of model numbers so we can refer to them at a later time. We can do quantity here, and then we can do the unit cost, and then we can do the total cost. So in other words, how much when we multiply by 10 or whatever it happens to be. And then out here at the right, we're going to have, let me move that out of the way, there we go. We'll have our source. So if we need to revisit that at some point, we have where we got that from. All right, now that I have that, one of the very first things we have for our plan is our horizontal cabling. So I'm going to come over here to my cable estimation. Here was the amount of cable we needed per room. Same thing here, amount of cabling we needed per room. So what I can do is I'll put a total here, total for this hallway or this closet, and I will do the same thing down here, total for that hallway, total for that closet kind of thing. And I'm just going to put a little formula next to it here. I'm going to do this little function button up here, and I'm going to do a sum, and I'm going to lasso these cells here, saying I want the sum of anything in these cells. And it should give them to me 963 meters. And then we'll have the same thing down here. We'll do a total sum, and we're going to highlight or lasso those cells. So that looks like that'll need 700. That's 900. And then maybe we'll do a total for plan. And what we can do there is we'll do an equals, and I'm literally just going to take this cell, highlight it, do the plus sign, and then come down here and highlight this cell and hit the enter key. And that'll total the two together for me. That way if I make any changes whatsoever, it's going to tally them up for me. So it looks like we need 1,741 meters, if you will, of cabling. Now, we're going to find out when we buy this that a lot of times when we're buying cabling, it's in feet, even though all of our standards and estimations were in meters. So we're going to hold on to that number for now. And over here on my cost sheet here, this is our horizontal cabling. Well, let's go get a real price for our horizontal cabling, and then we can figure out the quantity. We're going to get a lot of our equipment from this supplier cable organizer. The main reason is they have it. They usually have what we're looking for cabling plan. It might not be the best price, but they usually have it. So this allows us to hit that kind of like that first stop, first link to get most things that we're looking for. So I'm going to scroll down through here, and I'm going to look for wires and cables, and we're going to be picking at least category 6 cabling for this building. So in here we'll look for Ethernet cabling. And then here's 5.5E. We're going to scroll down. We're going to go to 6.6A. So we're at least going to pick here vertical cable or gigabit true category 6. I think I'll pick on these guys. Giga True category 6. And right off the top here it says, okay, what do you want? Well, we want because it's going to be installed up in our ceilings. And we can pick a color if we want to. I can do gray or whatever. And this gives us a model number and a cost. Well, we might want to know a little bit more information. This gave us the quick info. I'm going to scroll down here. This was the PVC cabling. Down here's the plenum cabling. This gives me a little bit more information. Here's the GigaTrue Category 6 solid bulk cable plenum. That's what we want. I'm going to grab that description. Oop, looks like that's the yellow one. So let's come down here. Let's go to gray. There we go. We'll grab this one. There's my description. We'll add that here for the item. And I might need to, I think I'll do a wrap here so I can keep it all on one page. We'll plug the model number in. So we're going to come over here and grab this model number. At least we're going to try to. There we go. We'll plug that in. We don't know quantity just yet. But we do know unit cost. This is $434.84. $434.84. And I'm going to make sure these columns here are currency. So I'm going to come over here and click the currency button. So I'll put that in currency for us. And I'm going to put my source so I don't lose that. I will plug that in over here so I have that information for later. Now we just need to figure out quantity. Okay, so as I look at this, it comes in a 1,000-foot spool. So let's do a quick conversion over here. We know we need, 1,740, so we're going to round that up to at least 1,741. And let's come over here and let's do our meter to feet. And we should have a Google convert here for us. And we're going to do 1,741 meters over to 5,711 feet. So it looks like we're going to need about 6 boxes at least. I think what would be more realistic is if I look here, actually if I think about my big plan, we have 2 hallways that we're pulling cabling to 2 hallways that we're pulling 4 drops to each room. If I get 8 boxes, I can have 4 that I'm using to pull from one closet and 4 to pull from the other closet. So if I at least get 8, I know that I have a pretty good plan for installing cabling in the building. So I'm going to do at least 8 here. I could always round up a little bit if I needed to. And then I'm going to do a formula here of this equals this asterisk this. So those two multiply, those 2 cells multiply. And now I'm actually starting to calculate my total of my equipment. I'm going to highlight these 2 cells and I'm just going to fill them in with like a light blue. And then as I go, I can start doing different colors for the different parts of my plan. I think I may even go lighter blue. I think there's a lighter one here. Here we go. There we go. Just enough color that I know this part of my plan versus another part of my plan. That's how you get going with your cost sheet. And like I said, we're usually going to pick on these guys as kind of our first stop. They have most of what we're looking for, and then we'll branch out from there as we need to. So there is getting our cost sheet started for our bid spec.